Hey guys, back this week. This week, we're gonna get into stuff that happened on set that people probably didn't want to see or hear about. We'll get to that right after this message. Did you know that the average driver gets 9 traffic tickets in their lifetime? Look, I'll be the first to admit that I've taken maybe a couple of liberties with traffic laws back in the day. And of course, when I got caught, I had to go to court to fight the ticket, which was always a hassle. And each time that I lost my case, it meant big fines, points on my record, and higher insurance premiums. Eventually, I realized that nothing beats having a good attorney argue your case in court. So here's what you do. You download the Off the Record app to your phone and register for an account. And if you get a ticket, simply upload a photo of your ticket into the app and you will be quickly matched with a lawyer in your jurisdiction. Your lawyer will start working your case right away, and in most cases, you'll never have to set foot in a courtroom. Off the Record has a 97% success rate and a 4.9 star rating on Google. And guess what? They even offer a money-back guarantee if they aren't able to reduce the points or keep that ticket fully off your record. Best of all, I've arranged a 10% discount for all of my YouTube viewers, so download the app and register using the referral code FASTLIFE to receive 10% off your first case. Over the 25 years of making Fast and Furious movies, there have been very few accidents, but they did have some. Crashes that weren't supposed to happen in the Fast and Furious movies. Mostly everything has been safe, but when you're making a car movie, you need competent stunt drivers, of course, right? And Universal was always hiring the best guys in the industry. Universal got most of the, however, some of the stars weren't on the same level with stunt guys. For example, in the first movie, Jordana Brewster didn't have a driver's license. Neither Michelle could not drive a manual transmission, so they're not gonna be doing their own stunts, right? Paul wanted to, but the studio said, no brother, because if he got hurt, the movie's over. An example, early in the first movie, Paul was driving a red Ford Lightning pickup borrowed from Ford. You remember that? He drives up to the shop and he slammed the brakes and he misjudged the parking curb. Boom! $1,200 in damage. In the second movie, during the first race, they had 2 incidents. The script called for 3 jumps, one with the Slapjack Supra, another one was Suki S2000, and then of course, Brian's GTR. But that one was mostly CG. The Supra had a live stunt driver. That was really risky. He got in the car, go over everything that they had to do and how fast you're going, how you're gonna steer, and what's gonna do when you land. But all the stunt guys want to go faster and faster. You know why? Because the guy, the head of stunts, was a guy named Terry Leonard. This guy goes back to horses in the Westerns in the 1960s. He used to go out in bars and brawls with John Wayne friends and all that kind of stuff. So they wanted to impress him, and everybody goes farther, faster, more. But this guy, okay, I know I'm almost going to be going for like 60 miles an hour. This guy was doing over 80. And when he landed, he slammed on the brakes. There was stock brakes, and it went over a curb and into a pillar, a giant pillar that was holding up a billboard. You know, those big fat thing, they're like this big. He went right in it. It was only supposed to go into the grass and just graze the pole. He went front and back. And if you saw the car afterward, there was a big and everybody's going, oh, somebody's in trouble. And that pillar of that billboard, it was solid, man. It was about 3 feet wide and 6 feet tall. The Supra was mangled and it never worked on set again. Because Suki's S2000 is a convertible, they're not going to put anybody in the car, because if it goes over or like that, you kill somebody. And before you tell me, why don't you put a roll bar? Because you don't put a roll bar in the car if you have the actress is in there, because you can't see her face, right? And it was too dangerous to put a stunt player in the car for the car. Instead, we used a remote setup with a dummy, a real dummy, you know. What they did, we take like a PlayStation thing, the steering wheel and all that kind of stuff, and even the pedals, but they had a chase car. So here's the chase car, right? And the chase car is driving like this with him, and it goes up on the ramp. There's a ramp and it wasn't really the bridge, it was a ramp on the bridge, and he had to stop fast because he didn't want to fly over the bridge. So it was metal and it was wet, and he stamped on the brakes and he fell off the ramp and landed on the bridge. So the Durango was basically totaled, but we didn't care because it was a Hertz car or something like that. No, I think that was a Avis or something like that. The jump really went as it was planned, but the chase car couldn't stop. So when it went off, everybody was scared because another 6 feet, they'd probably go upside down underwater at night. A few moments later, as the cops are chasing Brian in the GTR with a harpoon, Paul jumped the curb, smacked the parking meter. Neither of those things were planned. So he was embarrassed, but it was good on camera and they left it in. And then a little later in the film, a Corvette crashed. You remember that on the audition thing? Their crash was planned, but flipping over was not in the script. Fortunately, the guy driving it, he had a strap over here, so if it goes over top, you know, he pulled him like this so he can get below the dash. So he survived, but that was not what's supposed to be. Oh, this is my favorite one. Later in the film, during the warehouse scramble, you remember that? All those cars were supposed to drive down the ramps out of the warehouse. They have concrete ramps. Stunt guys, they have a line of cars of 16 cars with like 10 rows. Here's the stunt guy. He goes down the ramp, and then all the civilians, they will say, they follow him. But it didn't go like that way. One of the stunt guys pulled up and just went over, but there was no concrete ramp. He just went right off the edge, about 5 feet down, straight down. He was fine, but the car was total. So fast forward to 2005, Universal came up with Tokyo Drift, my favorite in the whole franchise. After Too Fast and Furious, Universal learned that the more cars that you crash, the movie's better. That's true, it really is. So there were so many crashes in that script, but one crash was not in the script, and it involved Sung Kang. While rehearsing the car's movement, the car got away from him and he crashed it into a wall, and he was mortified. Sung was new to the franchise, right? He gets out of the car and he's really scared because I'm just the new guy, and on the first day you're out here, you crash the car. One of the bosses walked up over him and he said, "Don't worry, just go get another one. We have 9 of these, go get another one. It's not your car, what do you care?" Years later, Sung was questioned about the incident. Here's what he said. "I remember I slammed one of the 350 or 370s into the wall. I was really paranoid. I was like, oh no, I'm going to be kicked out of here." And he went up to the guy who was handling cars and he goes, "Don't worry, it's not your car. You don't have to pay for it. Just go get another one." That was kind of cool. So you got to understand, when you're watching these movies, 99% of the time they're stunt drivers, but sometimes there's not. Later in the franchise, Paul started driving more because he was going out of track all the time. Jason Statham, I was there on the same day when Paul and Statham at that Willow Spring. It was in a 350Z and he was trying drifting, and Paul was driving 3 different cars, a nice Porsche GT3 and a GTR, a BMW E46, but it was a race car. By this time in 2009, Paul was the best driver amongst the actors. What's going on here now, 20 years later, we're looking for cars. You know, all these collectors are trying to find every car from every movie so far. I just found another one. It's not too far from me, and it's a very important car. It was kind of beat up, but not crashed or totaled. But these cars keep going up. This guy, I remember when this got sold, it was like $40,000 or something like that. And now it's gonna be more, probably triply. And here's another thing. Back in 2009, when we had recession, a lot of people who had these movie cars, they were running out of money, so they started selling these cars. But Universal signed an agreement that you can't sell the stunt cars. Why? I'll tell you why. Back in the day, I think it was Dukes of Hazzard. One guy bought one of the Generales, which was a stunt car. You know, they jump all the time. So one guy bought the car and he was driving and he crashed and he got hurt. And he tried to sue the studio. All the studios said, nope, if they're stunt cars, you can't have it. Tough buy. So if you're gonna buy one of these cars and it's a stunt car, you better take a great look under it. I don't think I would buy a stunt car at all, but if you're desperate, you can do it. Next week, we're talking about Hector's Civic. After that is my love and hate of German cars. My wife's Audi was sitting there, is no more. Driving the car and started to overheat, and he's, good God, does it 3 times. The car is 7 years old, always gets his maintenance. And the guy said to me, well, your coolant system has to be burped. What? What? You know, burp it out on the side of the freeway when everybody's doing 100 miles per hour, and she's 5'2". Immediately, I pull out of the place and I went across the street and she bought a Lexus. Not sexy, but practical and safe. Okay, that's about it. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. We still have the GTR 1/8 fan helm thing. We have the raffle going. There's 40 more slots. Once it's filled, we put the ping pongs with the numbers on it, turn it up, and if you hit it, you know, how do you get it? Put it on the screen. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.